Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today, we're going to take a very spoilery look at Kaiju number 8, and we're going to take a look at something that has been a major plot point since chapter... I'd say somewhere between chapters 4 and 9. We just didn't know it yet. But that would be... Again, spoilers, click away if you don't want to hear anyone, but Kaiju number 8's Degeneration Power. Now, I've done a bunch of different videos on this, but chapter 53 directly addressed this in a way that has me questioning everything I thought I knew. So, here is the concept, and this was a concept I discussed with other Redditors, other people who are really into Kaiju number 8. This did not originate entirely from my own brain. But the concept is this. Basically, that Kaiju number 8 has the power to cause degeneration in Kaiju flesh. So Kaiju number 8 can prevent other Kaiju from regenerating. The concept for this is that Kaiju number 9 does seem to be developing to be the big bad of the story. And Kaiju number 8 seems to be uniquely opposite of Kaiju number 9. Kaiju number 9 has the power to regenerate Kaiju flesh. Kaiju number 8's equal and opposite power is the power to degenerate Kaiju number flesh. Kaiju number 9 appears to be a complete sociopath intent on destroying the human race and replacing the world with Kaiju. Kaiju number 9 appears to be a complete sociopath intent on destroying the human world and replacing it with the Kaiju world, whereas Kaiju number 8 is defending the human world. Kaiju number 9 has a color pattern of white, flabby, rotting like flesh. Kaiju number 8 has a color pattern of jet black bone, which is sort of the opposite. One is rot and decay. One is it's not vitality and life, rather, but the bone and muscle of Kaiju number 8's color palette and texture patterns indicate health and firmness. And then, of course, you have Kaiju number 9 fighting from the shadows and resorting to manipulating other people and other Kaiju and always using ranged attacks versus Kaiju number 8's habit of just getting in there and punching it personally until the problem goes away. So you have these two opposite, or maybe not opposite, they're like a matched set, two hands of a glove. One showing one thing, one showing the other. And because of this, because of the little things we've seen, starting off when number 9 had left the Hanju to attack the Tachikawa base during the application arc, Kaiju number 8 says stop regenerating to the tissue, and it stops regenerating. At that time, we just thought it was comedic timing, but then during their first real one-on-one battle, Kaiju number 9 just straight up comments that when he's fighting Kaiju number 8, he can't regenerate fast enough. And then when, of course, it came time for the big reveal and Kafka had to punch the bomb, it doesn't really make sense that he punched the bomb flew up into the sky and waited to explode. Every single bomb type there is, if you punch it, it either stops working completely or it goes off right then. But if Kaiju number 8 was exerting his Kaiju degeneration powers, once he was in the Wyvern Kaiju's range, he would have automatically suppressed their explosion, and it makes sense that the explosion would be delayed then. It waited until it was out of the range of Kaiju number 8's degeneration power. Now, up till then, everything was just subtle hints. Right up until this chapter. Now, in chapter 53, Matsumoto just flat out lampshades that yes, Kaiju number 8 has degeneration powers. And Matsumoto wants to make sure that we recognize this and understand this. And that it isn't just in fact, Matsumoto goes to the point of dedicating an entire panel to separating Kaiju number 8's degeneration powers from the negative after effects of the fusion. So Kaiju number 9 is fighting Kaiju number 8, and Kafka and Kaiju number 8 is getting worked up into that intense emotional state. Now, we've discussed this before, how especially when Kafka is in the Kaiju number 8 form, he seems to be affected by super intense emotions, the kind that a child would experience. And this goes back to that the little guy has a child's mentality, is prone to wild emotional swings, and he's imprinted on Kafka. And whenever they're in the Kaiju number 8 form, Kafka's mentality is being affected by by the little guy. And this represents as Kafka learning to use the body, but also having stronger, more intense emotions that are being emphasized by the little guy's emotions. And you have the Kafka getting really emotionally worked up over Kikoru's suffering and the loss of the director general, and he actually starts crying in this kaiju state, and they're just tears of frustration and rage, and then he powers up and just punches into Kaiju number 9. And a punch in that hyper-emotional state has always been a precursor to a display of this degeneration capacity. The little guy throwing everything he's got into the fight to help Kafka win. And this is when Kaiju number 9 says, since my regeneration is being hampered, the adverse effects are accelerating. So the adverse effects are clearly separate from the regeneration being hampered. So, and then he says, there's no doubt about it. The last obstacle standing in my way is you, Kaiju number 8. So this is now this is an entire page dedicated to this so it's actually 2 entire pages dedicated to the concept, but 1 full page spread of Kaiju number 9's face, zeroing in on Kaiju number 8, identifying Kaiju number 8 as the source of his regeneration being hampered. And this is just so on the nose. It makes me rethink every single theory I've had, because one of Matsumoto's quirks, one of the things that allows Matsumoto to write a genuinely original, really good manga within the Shonen Jump archetype, making this a perfectly standard Shonen Jump manga that still has plot twists that can surprise us, is that Matsumoto hides major plot points, especially major plot points about Kaiju number 8's abilities, behind common shonen tropes. Childish potty humor aimed at 12 years old, common shonen trope. And so we get the peeing nipple joke that is the first clue we get about the overheating of the suits and about how the kaiju need to cool themselves with superheated steam. And Iso Shinomiya, being a manga protagonist in his own right and being an awesome guy who we all love and whose death will devastate us, hidden behind the common shonen trope of the overbearing tiger father that's so common in shonen manga. And now we have this. I thought this was another big plot twist that was being hidden behind common shonen tropes of the inherent struggles that are going to happen between the main protagonist and the main antagonist. But my point is that this was just very unsettled. This is Matsumoto holding up a flag and saying Kaiju number 8 has the ability to hamper Kaiju regeneration. Now, my main theory was this, that after number 9 has eaten somebody, Kaiju number 8 was going to come in after Kafka and Kaiju number 8 have had a chance to talk, when Kafka is being to trust the little guy will be able to point out who's a real kaiju and who's a human who's been fused with a kaiju. And then Kafka will be able to use this regeneration hampering power to rescue a fused human from the fusion. At first I thought this was going to be Kikoru's mom, but then I thought it was going to be Kikoru's dad, or it might even be some other human who Kaiju number 9 has fused with. Because remember, the fusion happened off-screen. We don't know that Iso Shinomiya is dead, and I, for one, think he probably won't be permanently dead, and I think that Kaiju number 8, using his regeneration hampering, is going to be the one to save him. But, again, I just don't know what to make of this. It's just, this scene is so on the nose. Matsumoto really wants us to be focusing on this, on Kaiju number 8's degeneration powers. And that just makes me really, really suspicious of it, because every time Matsumoto has deliberately had us focus on something, it's spun around and pulled a plot twist out of it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. If Matsumoto pulls a completely out of left field plot twist out of this, I am 100% down for that. I trust Matsumoto at this point. Chapter 53 was so satisfying. It was the perfect cliffhanger arc conclusion. Culmination. Even if Iso is permanently dead, even if we never get him back, this would still have been the perfect conclusion to his story. He went out fighting. He died fighting. He died standing. I think the imagery of Iso's confused body standing there was a reference to that semi-legendary figure in Japanese history who fought so hard that he died standing up. And again, that would be a perfectly satisfying conclusion, but I still think that this regeneration hampering is going to play a huge role later in the series. So, what do you think? Is Kafka going to rescue Iso Shinomiya using this regeneration hampering power? Is Matsumoto going to pull a fast one and going to do something completely different with the regeneration hampering power? Maybe it's something that's unique to the energy fields between Kaiju number 9 and Kaiju number 8. Maybe it's not Kaiju number 8 who's doing it at all. Maybe it's Kafka. Maybe that's his 0% Kaiju compatibility. Who knows? But I am excited. Like I said, I trust Matsumoto. So, where do you think Matsumoto is going with this? I'm really curious, because this lamp shading has just thrown all my theories out the window, and I really want to hear what you guys think. But that's that for now. Go check out the links below the video to get yourself a copy of my books, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, or Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, available on Amazon, from Walmart, from Barnes & Noble, electronically from a bunch of different places, and if you want a signed author copy, you can get it from me on my website. So hit that like and subscribe button, and peace out, my wonderful viewers. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. 2 books in a series of human absurdity. Go check out these short story collections. What will our little green friends think of us when we finally do make it to space? Find out the answer in 2 books of human absurdity. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, and Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, and Google Play.